Hello! Stoutman is surrounded by the light of God today because this is his new DVD update! So I told you that I was wanting to, upgrade my horror selection, right? I did that video about, let's talk horror movies. And in that video, I said that, I really need to upgrade my horror selection that I own on DVD and whatnot, because I really don't own that many. So guess what I did? I went out and I upgraded my horror selection. I have 9 DVDs and a total of 10 new movies. Not all of them are horror movies, but most of them are. And the very first one I got is It. Stephen King's It. Yeah, okay. Enough of that. Obviously a classic. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it, of course. Duh. It's like 3 hours long though, so schedule in some time. The first time I saw this, I think I was like 9 years old, okay? And my friend was staying over and he said, "Have you seen this?" And I said, "Nope." And he said, "Oh, you gotta see it. We gotta see it at night. We gotta see it when it's really dark with no lights on." And okay, I said, "Okay, well, we'll do that." And I was scared shitless. Yeah, this is a really scary, creepy ass movie, and obviously, most of you, if not all of you, know that by now. Freaking awesome. I can't believe they're remaking this. That's why I picked it up, because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to leave it to them to put it on Blu-ray when the new movie comes out. I'm not going to leave anything up to them or anything up to chance. I'm getting this while I can. Okay? And so, that was my thought concerning that. The next DVD I got was quite a surprise because there was something in it that I wasn't expecting. And I still don't know if it's real, but it looks so real. And that's The Thing. I got The Thing, and this is awesome. It's John Carpenter's The Thing, and I know this isn't probably the version to get. You're not supposed to get that version. Shut up. It has most, if not all, the special features there, It's good. And, I was happy. I was like, yay, I finally got The Thing. And from what I've heard about the Blu-ray, don't get the Blu-ray, so I got the DVD. Ha-ha! Yes. Alright. But I opened it up. When I opened it up, I saw, God, it's one of these where you have to pull it out here, and the center button is so freaking hard that you have to like bend the disc to get it out, and it's like, no! Okay, but yeah, then there's the insert, and I look at the insert, and I'm like, this is a pretty hefty insert here. Alright, let's see this. Alright, yeah, front, back, got the insides, you got the chapter listing and whatnot, Then you open it up further and, production notes, and what's this? Oh. Who's that? And what? JC? Jesus Christ? Did Jesus Christ autograph this? No. It had to be John Carpenter. Yeah, I think it's real. I've been told, it could just be a mass production photo, it could just be this, that, And I'm like, no, I'm looking at this pretty good, and it looks so real. It might be a mass production photo, to be quite honest, or it might be a total fake. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's really cool, I didn't know they would have that in there. In fact, it kind of does look like a mass production, but I don't know. See, because, mass production is usually like a black ink. And this is like a dark blue, and it fades at the end of the autograph a little bit like a Sharpie would do. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks real. I was shocked. And somebody's probably going to tell me that was a mass production. Don't get all in a flip. Whatever. I got the thing on DVD. Yay! The Thing. If you haven't seen it, then why haven't you seen it? What the freaking hell is wrong with you? Next one I just got today. This is the last one I was waiting for. Jeepers Creepers. Now, what bugged me is that I asked for this in the lenticular cover in full package, meaning the inserts and everything, and I got this, a kind of dirty case, and the DVD wasn't even in this thing. It was like, you know, floating around in the case when I got it in the mail, and it wasn't even in a padded freaking envelope, and I was just like, what the hell? And you look here, oh, look at all these inserts. Yeah, that guy's not going to get a lot of good feedback from me, but Jeepers Creepers, I've wanted them to continue the creature feature type films in well, maybe not in Hollywood, but just in general in movies and whatnot, and do a good job of it. And when I saw this, I was like, yes, perhaps it is the return of the creature feature. And I've been wanting them to make more movies of this, more Jeepers Creepers movies. Because honestly, I like this one, and I did like the second one. Now, a lot of people had a lot of problems with the second one. But only thing that was really bad to me was the acting. The two things that really stuck out to me for that movie were the very beginning and the very end of the movie, which, you know, say more about the series of movies than, you know, than the rest of the movie itself says about the series of movies. So, yeah, Jeepers Creepers was awesome. I loved it. I don't know why people had such a big problem with it. I like it. You want to tell me you didn't like it or something, you know, just tell me and give me an excuse why. I don't know why you wouldn't like it. Why to get it on DVD? It's on Blu-ray in other countries, but not here. And from what I've seen of the Blu-rays in other countries, it's DNR'd to hell and it doesn't look that good. So it's like, well, that means that they're bringing it here, especially since it's MGM, that it's probably not going to get a good transfer. So why not just pick up the DVD? Next one I got, Poltergeist 2 and 3. Now I have the complete trilogy on DVD. A lot of people didn't like the second and third films. I did, and let me tell you why. It's because they weren't exactly like the very first film, true, and that's probably why people didn't like them that much. But they each had something going for them that made them creepy. You know, it didn't have the same directors and producers and whatnot, and so it didn't have the exact same feel. But you could tell just by the way it was made and the way that things were done. Like in the third movie, they're in a huge office building in like freaking downtown Chicago, and you can tell just from how the colors are all washed out, everything is gray, there's mirrors everywhere. It's a crazy, you know, creepy ass. The last time I saw a movie that had all the colors washed out like that on purpose as a directorial choice to make the film more gritty was The Machinist. Now, that's a pretty big gap between the third Poltergeist movie and The Machinist for that kind of art style choice to be made. And it really does aid in the making the film creepier and scarier. And that's why I like these two, is because the director goes the extra freaking mile, because the stories aren't absolutely fantastic. So he has to work with what he's given, and he does a fantastic job making these as scary and creepy as possible. So, you know, I had to pick it up, even though it's, oh my god, no, a flipper disc. Yeah. The next one I got, was The Frighteners. And I was really glad to see this because it came in a slipcase. I wasn't even expecting that, but it came in a slipcase. And of course, it is the director's cut from Peter Jackson, which is said to have 14 minutes of new material, but I watched it and I'm like, I really don't see any new material. Maybe it's just they've been showing the director's cut on TV this whole time and I never realized it. I wonder what the original cut was then, because I like this cut. But got a lot of extra features. Over 4 hours of special features written and produced by Peter Jackson. I love what they do on this particular set here. They're like, everywhere you look it says, Academy Award winning director Peter Jackson. My favorite actor in this was Jeffrey Combs, because he plays like the creepiest guy in this movie. And if you've ever seen him in any horror movies, you know he's like the best for those kind of movies. And he just does an amazing job in this. Like every time I see his character, I end up freaking like pretending to be him. Like the knife was missing, and to this day it has not been found. But you know what was really creepy? He's got this, the way his voice is and the way his character acts, it's so over the top, it's hilarious, and that's kind of the point. But, it's so over the top, it's hilarious, and it's fun, and it's like, I want to reenact one of these scenes in here so bad with him, because he just does such a good job and makes the movie even more memorable for me. Of course, if you don't know what this is, Michael J. Fox is a Ghostbuster, and he's solving a mystery about a ghost that's killing people. Come on, it's Michael J. Fox. The next one I got is a really cool looking version of Saw. And yes, you are seeing the Saw movie around in the cover. It's a really cool looking edition. Like real little like fake blood splatters and the saw there and everything. This is the uncut edition, which surprisingly is cut down from the original theatrical release and is shorter than the original theatrical release. Apparently they cut out some stuff they didn't feel was that necessary and added more gore. So this would be like the NC-17 version of Saw, and I've always liked the original Saw movie, so I'm like, okay, I'll get that one. And especially since it's in this really awesome, looking digipack thing, with the cool cover and everything. I have to say something about Saw, and that is that it seems to me like every movie that Danny Glover does is really good. I live by the long time held philosophy that Danny Glover can do no wrong, because I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 movies out there that he's done that aren't that good, and the rest are actually either okay or really good, because he's just that good of an actor. He can make a bad movie good by being Danny Glover. So if you see him in anything, you have to, if you see he's acting in anything, it's like, you gotta go see that, because you know it's going to be good probably because he's in it. Like the other night I saw Night Train, and that was really good. I mean, the story was really good. The production value maybe not so much, but the story was like really good. It had this like Twilight Zone-y, Stephen King feel to it, and it was perfect. If you haven't seen Night Train, see that movie. It's short, like under an hour and a half, I think, but it's really good. And you should really see it if you like Twilight Zone or Stephen King stuff. So yeah, anyways, Saw, awesome. Now before I continue, I just wanted to say about Saw here, yes, I know it's on Blu-ray. Have you seen the Blu-rays? They are horribly badly done. Why would you pick that up when you can just pick up something like this, the uncut edition, and have tons of extra features and whatnot? And it's just like, sometimes, at least right now, you have to say screw it for the Blu-rays. Um, Eventually, when they get better, then it'll be worth it. But it's like when you can get something like this for $5, which is how much it cost me, $5 for this, and it's like, would you rather pay that or $10 for the Blu-ray? I'll get this one. Thanks. That's it. That's all I got for horror movies. So, yeah. But I did get 3 other DVDs, obviously, because I told you I had 9 DVDs, right? Anyways, the other DVDs I got, first we're going to start with Schindler's List. Now, this is really cool because it's like a book type thing, if you will. And I love the way that was done. But I opened it up and shock, surprise, oh my god, it's a flipper disc. It's to be expected, I guess, but it looks nice. It's got everything in it and whatnot. It's inserts and whatnot. And yeah, I can't wait to watch this. The next one I got, Miller's Crossing. Now, if you haven't seen Miller's Crossing, one of the good movies to match it with, this is a Coen Brothers film. A lot of people, for some reason, either don't remember this in their film repertoire, or they don't even know what it is. And that's a shame, okay? Because this is a great freaking movie. And, you have to know the history of the if you like the Coen Brothers, you should learn something about the history of their films and whatnot, and watch all of their films, because everything they've done is fantastic. And before they were doing this, they did Barton Fink. And it really is a good film to match this with, Barton Fink. Even though the two have like nothing to do with each other, you can see and add in the history and whatnot with Barton Fink in this. You can see the connections, sort of. Because Barton Fink is a story about a writer who is like slowly losing his mind because he's got like writer's block, right? And apparently while they were making Miller's Crossing, one of the Coen brothers had writer's block, and they couldn't finish it because they didn't know what else, they couldn't figure out what else to put. And so while they were making Miller's Crossing, they decided to make Barton Fink, which is, kind of an existential story of probably of how they felt during that moment in time, which is why it's a good time. It's a good reason to pick this up and watch this with Barton Fink, because of the story connecting each other and everything. But if you haven't seen this, it's a gangster film, and it's kind of like the Coen brothers' take on The Godfather, if you will. It's nowhere near the same. I'm not saying it's the same thing. It's not. But, it's just kind of, I would say it's their Godfather, if you will. If the Coen brothers were going to make a movie about a gangster, if the Coen brothers are going to make a gangster film, Miller's Crossing is it, and it is fan-freaking-tastic. There's this one scene in it that really, one of the mob bosses has been put on him, and he eventually kills the people trying to kill him, and leaves his house with a Tommy gun, chasing down the rest, the guys who were in the getaway car. And he's just calmly walking down the street with the Tommy gun, like, come on, come on! And it reminds me of that scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker is saying pretty much the same thing with the Tommy gun, come on, hit me, hit me! And I swear to God, that's where Christopher Nolan got the idea for that scene. If you see this scene in Miller's Crossing, you'll be like, it's the exact same scene, and it's great. So if you want to know where Christopher Nolan got some of his ideas for that movie, Miller's frickin' Crossing. And the last DVD I got, was Collector's Edition, the expanded version of the Blues Brothers. Now, this is one of the older releases, but honestly, I was shocked at how good this looks. It looks so fantastic. And in particular, the sound. The sound mix and whatnot is really good. I mean, it's probably the best sounding DVD I have ever heard. It sounded like I was listening to a Blu-ray track and not a DVD track. And it figures, I mean, in a movie about music that you'd want to have good sound for the music. But I wasn't even expecting that, and it's so great. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Of course, if you haven't seen the Blues Brothers, then I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, because this is one of the greatest films of all frickin' time. Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. There are moments in this film that I'd like to reenact too. I mean, it's a classic. So, that's it. That's all the DVDs I got. Thanks for joining me in this DVD update, and stay tuned for more. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing next, but stay tuned for more. I do have a lot of plans coming up.